Hey, what's up, YouTube, IG, Facebook Live, Twitter, and all your socials, and our friends and acquaintances, customers in commerce, or whatever, enemies, whatever. Happy New Year. Bringing in 2024 with By the Dip, episode number 9. This is the last episode of the year, even though we're in the new year. So I guess we could technically say it's the first episode of the new year. It's your boy, Rich Taylor, a.k.a., you guys know me as Dollar. And this is SSPEC Media YouTube channel. I'm with my co-captain, Yee Zee Yee. What's up, Yee Zee Yee? How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Already had my first day back to work. So happy New Year to everyone. So started out pretty slow. Just some weird stuff happened.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. So what happened?
So there were contractors that were working at the basketball gym, and then they left there's a roof hatch to get to the scoreboard, the LED scoreboard. They left it open, and it had rained, and then the basketball court got wet. So they're having to dry it, and then they had literally it's been less than a year since they resurfaced the entire court, and then retarnished it. It's less than a year old, and it's probably damaged because of this. And it's right in center court, where the giant painting of the Rice logo is and all that.
So was it an accident or mayhem?
Accident by a contractor.
So. And let everybody know this if you want. You don't have to, but I'm a big college football fan. I like the March Madness. He worked for a Division I school, really good sports school, along with everything else. What school do you work for?
Rice University.
Very cool.
So, yeah. So
I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
So so I was on the roof of the building, and I was climbing down the ladder to be in this scoreboard because we have a network switch up there, and so I was checking in on that, and so that's the weird place I was today. So,
wow, man, the jack of all trades, the master of some. Yeah, pretty cool. I don't know if I told you, but I go back to work on Wednesday.
Nice.
It's a hybrid swing kind of deal. So 2 days at the office, 3 days remote. So.
Oh, nice. That's pretty sick.
All right. So let's get on to it. Let's go ahead and talk about our sponsors, and then we'll get in the say hello to everybody in the live chat. People are either late. I didn't put an IG post. Typically I do, but it's all good. A lot of people are on vacation all week. There was no traffic today, so.
Oh yeah, it was kind of nice.
Yeah. Make sure you guys like this content. We appreciate it. You don't have to, but we would greatly appreciate it if you could comment, give us your feedback, positive or disagreement. We like to chop it up in the comments. Both me and Aaron and I answer the comments. So yeah, leave us a comment. And Gemini comic mailers, use code popcorn99 for 10% off your next purchase. And there's a bonus code. It's SSP99 for not an additional 10% off, but you actually, in case Popcorn 99 is not working for you anymore, because I'm not sure if Brian, the guy that owns Gemini, if he's doing the one code per order still, or if it's just continuously. But if it's not continuously, use the code SSP, like spec, like our channel name, or super short print 99, SSP 99. You'll get 99% off, 10% off. Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta put in my order of Geminis. It wasn't that much off, Richie.
Yeah, that's funny. So, all right, we're gonna start with the House of Stein last Friday show. House of Stein, Ben Stein's final By the Dip list from last Friday, final list of 2023, and let's take it away. This is Power Girl number 4. This is the 1 in 10 incentive. What's going on here,
Aaron? Yeah, so this had sold for $10 near mint raw, and it had been like a $30 to $40 book raw, and a 9.8 back in July sold for $150. So,
sorry, my dog was screaming.
yeah, no worries.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah,
I missed that. Sorry about that.
yes.
My
So
bad.
I just went over the price that like a $10 near mint raw had just sold, and then this book usually sells between the $30 and $40 range raw, and then a 9.8 sold for $150 back in July. You're muted.
So I
Oh.
moved Frankie, and because he's screaming while you're talking, and then my mic went off. What an
No
idiot.
worries.
All right. Very cool. We were talking about this this book, and I think we all kind of agreed it wasn't the best Power Girl cover versus the.
Oh yeah, there's a ton more iconic covers than this.
Yeah,
It could just be that rarity factor too, right?
yeah. I mean, you have a rarity factor. I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad
No,
cover. It's just not the greatest.
it's
She's
not
got.
memorable to me. It's not, at least.
Well, it is to me a little bit because of the farmer tan on the breast assist.
I guess,
So,
like yeah.
but we've
It's
seen much
almost like they're
better.
glowing, right?
Yeah. Bolt on strawberry dip bolt ons. But yeah. Anyways. All right, let's move on to the next here. So this is an art germ foil. What is this? Is this Batman and Robin 1? Is that
Yeah,
what this
Batman
is?
and Robin 1 from 2023. So two separate 9.9 sold for $115. They were $250 to $300, but Ben pointed out that there was 15 9.9s on the census.
Okay. Yeah, I actually used the foil image. We had the regular image. Well, I don't know. I don't know what image we had on the show. Brian found a really good one.
Yeah,
I couldn't find the good one unless it was like the
it's
cardstock. So
it's probably just easy to see the artwork that way, and
okay,
just mention that it's foil, right? But I
cool.
mean, yeah, I I mean a 9.9 foil, like, awesome, but like having 15 on the census right off the bat.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see why it declined in price as more copies, populate on there, because I really doubt someone submitted, like 100 of these books and got 15 9.9s or whatever.
Oh yeah. One.
Like it has to be like multiple people, right? I would assume.
Let me try this, my game. Yeah. I just think that let me see here. So hot take, I guess. I don't know. I wish DC would have kept like these foils at like high ratios rather than like what are they
Oh,
like $1 or $2 more than the
like
regular cover or something like a cardstock kind of scenario.
like a probably like $2 over cover at like maybe like $1 over whatever the cardstock price is. I would
Yeah, I
assume
just
it's
yeah,
something like
yeah,
that. I
yeah.
mean, it, it could just be also like us reacting to how many foils we've been exposed to through all the different conventions too. Like it's kind of oh, oh, surprise, surprise, DC and Marvel are printing facsimiles of classic books or like key books in foil, and when you see it like on like a C or D cover or whatever, does it really matter at that point?
Right,
And then
right.
on top of all the conventions you're seeing it at, so I think maybe we're just like tired of it. I mean, I know I am a little bit, and I
Definitely,
like shiny
definitely.
shit.
Yeah,
I
I
like
like
shiny
shiny
stuff.
shit too.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, let's move on. We got from the new 52, we have Batman 21. This is the Jock variant. What's going on here?
So this is a 1 in 25 variant. This sold for a 9.8 sold for $31. All time low. This is typically have been between $150 to $175.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, this is a great cover. I
Yeah,
really like this cover.
I mean, for
Um,
$31, like that's awesome for a 125.
I totally
I mean,
agree.
I would have picked that up. Like, that person obviously lost money, like because I'm assuming they bought the book at ratio or somewhere, to some degree around there, and then sent out like what 20-30 bucks for grading.
Right. Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. It's a good point. Good numbers. All right, let's move on. We have Stormwatch number 4. Very tough book with that black. It's tough to find, especially in high grade with that black left side and spine. But I know all of us on the panel on the Hot 10, we like this character, we like this book. But what's going on here, Aaron?
So CGC 98 sold for 225, and it peaked out at $600 back in February. So I guess like with the, I don't know, I guess news cooling off on it, right?
Right. Warren Ellis, that's tight.
Yeah.
But yeah, very cool book. And the last book of the Buy the Dip is brought to you by SSPEC Media. This is the Ben Stein Last Buy the Dip list from the House of Stein Hot 10. This is an iconic key issue. This is Evil Ernie number 1. What's going on there?
So a CGC 98 sold for $2,700. The It previously sold in July for $5,200, and this has been the lowest price since 2019. That's an insane drop though, like almost half, like a little less than half, right?
Right.
Or a little more than half, I should say.
It's funny because like I was talking to Brian about this, and I've heard a lot of people a lot of people are worried and stuff that we still haven't hit the floor, and I get it. But I was talking to Brian about the market, and I think me and you we kind of touched on it a little bit. Was it yesterday on the phone? This is just like any other market. It's ups, it peaks and valleys, bulls and bears.
Yeah, we're not seeing
we need to weather the storm. We just need to weather the storm. It's we probably didn't see that. We haven't seen the floor yet, but we just weather the storm. It'll come back. But what I was saying before is Ben brought up a good point in the Hot 10 around 6 months ago, maybe a year ago. He said April 2020 through probably the mid to end of 2022. So pandemic prices, cut that out of your index, right?
Yeah.
And splice your January or your December or January 20 December 2019 to January 2020 into today's prices, and then you probably will see kind of like a more median. Still a decline, but
like you'll see a healthy increase in the market pricing,
right.
like as you should, like in any market. I mean, I would still say though that you're not seeing like extreme like jumps like you are in like cryptocurrency or even like what maybe even sports cards, like the high end cards, right? Where
Right.
you're seeing like, a card go for millions and millions and then all of a sudden drop down to like, a few 100,000 or whatever, or even lower sometimes, or like, maybe you're talking about a 6-figure card dropping down to $1,000. Like, it's not extremes like that, like, which is, I think it's good. Like, you're seeing a healthy market still. I mean,
Yeah.
the way I always viewed it as like whatever book I bought into and when I sold it at, did I increase in the price? Like, or did I increase like profits that way? Like either by waiting in time or, did I buy in low enough? Is the real question, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, a lot of us are kicking ourselves for
Holding on to certain things that were like kind of like, oh shit, there it goes.
right. But we also did really well. Like we sold.
Oh yeah.
I mean, collectively, We sold a
Yeah.
lot of shit. So
Yeah.
the collection definitely paid for itself, especially the spec stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, because I still think I have over, I don't even know how many items I've sold over on Whatnot now at this point, but
Yeah.
it's easily over 1,000. I know that. Um,
I've heard spec is dead. I've heard that from multiple people. I don't think spec's dead. I just think it's harder.
it's evolved really at this
Yeah,
point,
it
right?
has evolved.
Like it always evolves, like where one person's doing zigging or whatever, you have to
You gotta
zag,
zag.
right?
Yeah.
Right. And then there's different things that become popular at certain times, right? Like where it's spec news of based off of like what media is coming out versus like you know straight up like reading, right? And what's
Right.
going on and good artwork and what's going on in the story. So there's story spec too, right? So that, I mean, we're seeing that like with like what Beneath the Trees.
Right. Right. And there's also other books that, I mean, even though the MCU, do you not before I get into that, do you remember we had that round table on Tales? It was like maybe like when we were doing that Saturday round table and prices were going crazy. And I was like, when is this going to end? When the MCU, it was like right at the beginning of phase 4 before WandaVision. I was like, when the MCU has a bad project and somebody on the table is long, short, ultra, I don't remember who it was, but they were like, well, that's never going to happen. And I can't remember who it was. It could have been anybody, but it was so long ago. But
Yeah.
that is also contributing. I know there's a lot of people that are not happy with the content that the MCU has been providing over the last year or so in phase 4 into phase 5. And on top of that, these original characters that an original continuity, which was Earth 1999-99, which is now considered the inner universe or inner universe 616. So you have 616 comics, now it's inner universe 616. It's so comic inaccurate, and it's showing the precedent of a bad phase of phase 4 into phase 5. I think it's time to start getting accurate with the comics.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's I've always felt like it was loosely based off of comics anyways.
Oh, it always is. Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
Source material.
Like where you could see they took moments here and there, but then like the overall story arc, right?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
within the movie never matches to anything in the comics. Which isn't, it's not a bad thing either because it's a different medium as well, right? Where you get to see the
Well,
in between actions between like comic panels. That's the way I always viewed it kind of as.
I think the in between comic, you're talking about between comic stories, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what
Oh,
those MCU movie adaptation comics are. Those comics,
mhm.
with like the movie picture on the front, those comics are specifically in between,
Oh, yeah,
not the
connect story
comics,
arcs. Right,
in
right.
between the movies,
Right.
So I see where
Right.
you're getting at, rather than in between the movies, in between the comics. And I get
Yeah.
that. But here's the thing is they're trying to run two parallel universes, these with 616 continuity, and then the 616 inner universe, or formerly Earth 1999-99. But you
Oh.
can't run two parallel continuities if you're doing two separate things, two
Oh,
different
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
outcomes, different. You know what
There's
I'm
too
saying?
yeah, it's too much cross or there yeah, that's too much to keep up with at that point, right?
Right.
That
And I
that
and I
it's gonna get muddied at some point in time, or it's gonna get
yes.
swapped,
Yes.
like, unless it's the same person running it for the next 10 years or whatever. Like
Yes.
or they have someone that, like, is keeping continuity in between all the films, right?
And that's important. I mean,
Yeah.
I know for us comic geeks, it's super important. But once the new people catch on, I don't know. I just know that when I hear about films that combine continuities or whatever, they start taking universes serious, I get very interested. Like I'm like, holy shit, this is tied in now. Da, 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 da. Like example is the DCU, and then it was the DC Extended Universe, DCEU,
Mhm.
which the last movie of DCEU is the Aquaman 2. And then the new movies that are being in production right now are going into what's called the parenthesis new DCU, which is the DCU reboot. And that is James Gunn's way of combining the continuities. I like that. That's cool. I wouldn't mind
be
the
the new
MCU doing that.
52 of DC cinematic movies. That's the way I'm going to view it as. If they're going to call it new DCU.
Right.
Just add a 52 in there.
yeah. But anyways, let's hit the chat. Aaron, let's say hi to everybody. Happy New Year. Sith Rule, what's going on, man? Happy New Year to you. Thank you for the support. You've always been very kind to all of us, and thank you very much. Ferdy, what's going on, man? Happy New Year, bro. Ferdy is on the Spec is Dead FOC still sucks train, which I can see where he's coming from. So shout out to Ferdy and his channel. Congratulations on hitting 500 subs. And we'll talk to you. We'll catch up during the week. Slack, what up, dude? So did you change your name from Mark Slack to Slack? I think you did, right? No way, dude. I actually made it for a live stream. Happy 2024. What up, dude? Thank you very much for everything. Righteous Flipper, man. God, he's been having some hot takes on the hot 10. I love it. Very, very, very smart dude. Very sharp. He says, "Huzzah, buying with dollar." Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
No, I believe that's a huzzah.
Oh, huzzah. Okay, never mind. James Kreider, I keep seeing you on Facebook. It keeps telling me to add you on Facebook, but it usually I just add like friends, like people I talk to and family. But I'm going to go ahead and give you the ad because you have been awesome to all of us all year, and your posts are incredible on IG. Much respect, salute, happy New Year to you and your family, brother. My good friend Jesse, he has a comic book or a YouTube channel that consists of comic book origins, great graphics, images, great content overall, very informative, especially if you don't have time to read. The guy is so good with G.I. Joe, especially, and G.I. Joe's taking off. This is JLS Comics. Make sure you guys are subbed up to him. He says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, Jesse. What's up, buddy? Hack, man, I was wondering when you were going to sub here, bro. I mean, it's been a long, I haven't seen you since Flipside, man. How you been? Maybe I'm maybe on Brian's channel. I just don't remember. But he says, sup, guys, new sub here. I appreciate that. We appreciate that. Aaron's my co-captain, so we both are grateful. Appreciate that. Fetch Rancor, where you been, man? Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year to you too, man. Welcome back. Righteous Flipper says that's another grift by the big two are doing till they beat like a dead horse. Facsimiles, foils, and con exclusives monitor their prices, and they generally plummet over time. And then he goes on and says, any first appearance is a buy on the down low. I wouldn't say any. I mean, I would say pretty much 90%. I'm
like most,
right? Most are down, but not every, in my opinion, at least, character is worth investing in. But
wait.
Do what
we
you
saw
want.
an increase in NYX3, right?
Yeah. One of the few.
Yeah. I mean, because that hit an all-time low. Like I think where it was like right under 1,000 or right at 1,000.
Right.
And then I'm sure it's back up to like at least 2. I mean, I don't know. I could look right now, but I'm being lazy.
Right on. Yeah. Hey, I love Aaron. He's so funny. Hey, Blue Green Tony, what up, man? Gents. He's a man of just a few words. It means so much. How you doing, Blue Green? Happy New Year to you and your family. We'll be seeing you in 2024. Slack goes, yep, it's me. Righteous Flippers, come on. We have Mickey right here. What's up, Mickey? Swaggle House. You guys make sure you subbed up to Swaggle House Comics. I got to get with Swag. We actually both live in Southern California. He lives in more of like LA area, more of like a little bit further from me. I'm in Huntington Beach, but we definitely need to get together. And thank you, Swag. I appreciate it. It's funny. I was just thinking about you actually today, and I'll tell you about it later. But welcome. Blue Green says Gabby and Laura strong spec. Laura's here. She
Laura?
says, "Yee, what am I? Chopped liver? I mean, come on." No, I'm just kidding. Hi, Laura. Hey, tell Anthony I said hello. We said hello. Happy New Year to you. And GLS says, gotta wait unless you like to buy high, sell low. Hey, man, Jesse is sharp. I listened to him, but he's laughing at the end. So let's get into this. let's start with the 2024 Buy the Dip End of the Year show, brought to you by SPEC Media in conjunction with Beyond Wednesdays and House of Stein, the original Hot 10 Comics show every Friday on the House of Stein YouTube channel, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Let's go. Number 10. Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 8. This is from the first series. Nothing, no newsstand, nothing particular, just the book. Let's go ahead and look at the specs here. Origin told of the alien symbiote black suit, and what kind of cover by Mike Zeck, Aaron?
Oh, iconic. I had to think about it. I was like, what am I waiting for? All right. Yeah.
What is this guy speaking gibberish? Yeah. So this book is got many peaks and valleys. It actually hit a couple highs, not all-time highs, but highs for 2023 this last year, but it is down still. We like this book for multiple reasons. Obviously, for what's coming on with the MCU, if it's still coming, with Secret Wars and all that. But what's going on here, Aaron? You like this book as well?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that really surprised me was that this book didn't increase in price whenever the second Spider-Man game released, right? Like, we didn't see the increase in price like we did with Miles and the release of the Spider-Man. I mean, maybe it was also like hype on like a new console coming out too as well that nobody could get because of shortage on chips or whatever. So to me, it was like kind of a shocker that like when you had the black suit symbiote as Peter Parker, like in the Spider-Man 2 game, that's like all apart that, you know, I'm surprised this didn't increase as well.
Well, it didn't increase the highs we saw, but it did have a couple bumps when that game came out. I saw it on, I didn't check pricing on during that time, but I did see it on Cover Price. Shout out to Cover Price, Matt DeVoe, good guys over there, and Laura near Nirvana, along with Lords of the Long Box. That's their sponsor. They also do a weekly top 10 show on TiVo's channel, which is Lords of the Long Box. Make sure you guys are check them out, both channels. But yeah, I saw this on the like weekly, and it was also on the daily during that week. So but yeah, you've been talking about this for a while. So
yeah, I mean, but it's cooled off since then too as well. I've seen a couple of prices that were like, I saw like a 9.6 for sale, like 220, right? That price was kind of attractive. Like, to even if you were gonna like take that risk to like crack it, you know, CPR it or something, you know,
right.
But maybe it was just me also. Like, I've sold all my copies out of my collection.
How many did you get? How many did you have?
I had 2 in total. Like, I had a 9.6 blue label, and then I had a 9.6 that was 3 times signed and 2 times remarked. That sold for a pretty penny. So
very cool.
Yeah, I mean, but to me, it was like, it was more half the fun to get all those sketches, signatures, than to actually, like, once I completed it, I was like, kind of like, oh, what do I do with it now? Like, I can't, there's no one else to get it signed. And then I'm not going to ask a writer to do a remark on a cover when he doesn't really draw.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Number 9, Star Wars, The Clone Wars, number 1. We have, this is 2008 series. You guys know it. I mean, it's almost an iconic book. I guess it's a modern age grail, in my opinion. I wouldn't say a holy grail, but definitely a modern age grail. First appearance of Ahsoka Tano. First appearance of Captain Rex. Copies ordered by retailers, estimated about 24,500, but we typically add about 5K to estimated orders on Comic-Con, which is 29 to 30,000, give or take a few hundred or whatever, which is still a guess. You know what I mean? Like, if we're really being honest, but at least ballpark after all the news came out about print runs and stuff. On shout out to Brian McClay on Beyond Wednesdays for covering that. What's going on here, Aaron? I know you like this book a lot.
Yeah, I mean, after the Ahsoka series dropped, I guess the reception was like kind of mixed, right? Like half good, half bad, which tends to be with Star Wars anyways, right? But prices have like dropped down drastically since after that first season. And but it's always like what best to sell during like during announcements, or is this like, or is it better to sell like during previews and all that jazz, right? But I mean, you can see like prices dropping even in the 1 out of 1,000,
right?
So
that's the who did that cover? I don't remember, but
I don't remember the artist.
I like that cover. It's just it's different. It's not like like phenomenal art. It's just I can't really explain it. It's just it's cool.
It's a different style than you would typically see, right? Like
right.
It's almost like panel art, right? Panel art blown up.
Right.
Kind of looks like that. Yeah.
Right.
Blink twice for confirmation.
Yeah.
1, 2.
I was like
blink. But you can't see, you wearing glasses and all that.
We should do baseball signs. No, I'm kidding. All right. I'm God no. Okay,
but
I've never.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, go ahead. That's my bad.
I like this because it has 2 first appearances. I like collecting like some of the first appearances of the different clones and stuff like that. And then you have an important one here, Captain Rex.
There you go. I was actually that's a good one. Reminds me of talented 6th graders' attempt at Star Wars. Totally.
Okay, yeah.
But it's actually good. But it's like, but you also think like in your head, like, okay, this is like really good, but like for a kid, like I don't know.
Cool. Where it's like advanced, like for yeah.
So, all right, let's move on. Number 8, guys. New Mutants 87. No full disclosure, I do have this listed on my eBay store. We were running late and I forgot to remove it. Just to let you know, but just full disclosure so you know that. Probably gonna most likely I'm gonna take it down right after the. Well, I'm gonna take it down after the stream, but I forgot to do it, so I apologize. But let's go on and check out the specs. You guys know this book. I mean, this is classic cover art by Liefeld and McFarlane. I guess we can say iconic because it's been, there we go. Okay, so if Aaron has the sign, then it's iconic.
I mean, it's pretty iconic at this point, right? If I figured if you have more than one homage, you're iconic, right?
That's a good point. New Mutants 87 Volume 1, first appearance of Cable in full. I don't know why I put first full appearance of Cable in full, whatever. First cover appearance of Cable. Actually, he's in that. If you guys don't know, he's in New Mutants 86. There's like one panel of his face. Very cool book, especially Mark Jewelers. But anyways, also the first team appearance of the Mutant Liberation Front. That's Strife, Wildside Reaper, Forearm, Thumbelina, Strobe, Tempo Zero. September, so what, like around Labor Day of last, or 2 years, I should say, a year and a half ago, 2022, there is potential Cable. Josh Brolin's Cable will be back for Deadpool 3. I'm not sure if that was confirmed, but I'm kind of banking on that, especially with all these like weird cameos, and plus Brolin's Cable was so good in Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2. What do you think about this, Aaron?
Yeah, I like this book. To me, it always surprises me because this was always the more expensive book between like New Mutants 87 versus 98, like back way back in the day, and then it flipped like whenever Deadpool became popular, right? Which is just, it's just kind of crazy to me that I guess like such a iconic book, right? That that didn't like really survive the test of time.
Well, he's got he's got 3 appearances, right? So he shows up as a baby, right? And what is that? Uncanny 244 or something. I can't remember what number it is. I don't dabble in baby spec, but then he shows
it's
up.
the Cyclops and Storm cover.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
I don't remember what number it is, but yeah.
Thanks for that. And then he cameos in 86, and then now he's here. Liefeld written all over it, but then McFarlane probably had to come in and clean up the arm or the feet or something. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, and over the last 4 years, especially over the last 4 years, I've seen this book homaged and swiped at least 4 to 5 times.
Yeah.
So, typically by indie comics, but yeah, very cool. Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, and then you having the multiple different versions, right? Even with just like the background, like one version being a little bit more orange, the other one being a little bit more red.
Right.
Then you're talking about like what newsstands versus directs as well. Does this have a Mark Jewelers?
Yes, I believe it does, because 86 has one, and according to my comic shop, they have a really good Mark Jewelers inventory list. It's pretty accurate. I know they're missing a couple, and I know, but those ones that they're missing are typically National Diamonds, and you can actually go in there and put in National Diamonds, and it has all the. It's actually pretty cool. But this is actually, it's never in, and when it's in a Mark Jewelers, I can't remember if it's Mark Jewelers National Diamond, but when it's in with that jeweler insert, regardless, it's usually very expensive unless it's like low grade. Even like low grade, it's like ridiculous. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of bought in on a dip or whatever, but the prices I bought my 9.6s are, like the 9.6s I have are like the prices of 9.8s right now.
Okay.
So that's one thing I noticed, that like how far low this book has dipped in price. I was like, that's a very attractive price for a 9.8. So.
All right, before we get into the rest of the list, guys, I want to go ahead and shout out to Heineken Jones, and also to Aaron Yee, of course.
Oh yeah,
Aaron made a really nice short, and unfortunately, this shit was happening. It's convoluted, but the slab is ready to go. What's going on?
I still have the slab. So if you've answered, I guess should we give it a date now of when it officially closes? I know I said in the video it closes at some point in time.
Let's watch it. Let's go ahead and watch it.
Okay.
And let's see here. Let's go ahead and watch it. And Aaron's got the rules here. Let's see here. I'll go ahead and get it up. This is a tough one, guys. Aaron really killed it on this one, so let's check out, see what he says.
What's going on, SSPEC Media? This is Yee Zee Yee.
Can you hear it?
Posting the trivia question to help Richie and I get to 1,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel. I will be giving away So's Micah's Your Eyes Only CGC 9.8, courtesy of Heineken Jones. So thank you so much. So here's the trivia question. Just post on the comments below. What is Micah's first professional work? So we'll.
Sorry, Aaron, you can show it again.
It's coming up. House of Stein Hot 10 to pick a winner, but the next week's show. So make sure to enter. Here's a little hint. You might want to use Brian's creator's first list to find out if the answer's on there. Later.
Hell yeah, you did that so good. So go ahead and touch back on that that question, Aaron.
Yeah, so the question was, what is So's Micah's first professional work? So make sure to answer on that YouTube short video, and then we will we'll pick a winner. I guess what
on the hot 10.
This on the hot 10 this Friday.
Yeah, we'll do it this Friday.
Okay.
If it's okay with Ben and the rest of the guys.
And Brian, yeah. We can do it at the end or something like that, or at the beginning, whatever.
Yeah. So want to give them a look one more time at that book.
So big shout out to Heineken Jones again.
Heineken Jones.
Your Eyes Only CGC 9-8 signed by Susan Micah in that beautiful lime green signature.
That's sick. That is a sick book, man. Maybe I should pull up my alts and try to
it's a magazine sized book, so I like it.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's her art book for
Okay.
Dude, I was surprised he sent it, honestly. I was just like kind of like I was like wow. And he's like yeah, use that as a giveaway on something. So
one of my moderators, if you guys know Heineken Jones or know his IG, can you please put it in the chat? Let's give him a follow. If not, I'll go ahead and add it to the description. I'm going to add it to the description anyways of this live stream, and then we'll go ahead and touch on it again on Friday. But yeah, let's wish you guys good luck. And I'm so jealous, but this is for you guys. We really appreciate it. Let's go. Number 7, Batman Beyond, number 1 of 6. This is the normal direct edition. It's from the 1999 series, first appearance of Terry McGinnis in DC or US Comics. Direct edition, seen in the image with quote direct edition printed in UPC box. The reason why I'm saying that, on top of a newsstand edition UPC box in the lower left corner, dated March 1999, with an original retail price or a price variant of $1.99. Reason why I'm saying this is there's a lot. I wouldn't say a lot, but there are multiple versions or editions of this book. Aaron likes this book. What's going on here?
So first appearance of Terry McGinnis. This this cartoon came out during my time period, like growing up in like what that was probably like middle school to high school. So I was still watching definitely animation stuff like after school or before school, and my generation is now the generation with money and stuff like that. So they're gonna definitely pay up for nostalgia.
So are you saying you got deep pockets, bro?
Do I have deep pockets? I don't have this book, if that says anything. I mean, I won't lie and say I wasn't looking at one over the weekend and stuff like that. I almost pulled the trigger on one.
Now there's a Magic Mountain edition, Magic Mountain edition as well. I used to have that book, but it was like probably like a 5560 at best.
There's the free comic book day version.
There's also the newsstand price variant. I don't think it really matters if it's a price variant because they put newsstand edition on everything now. But what else, Aaron?
Splash version. There's also the what I think there's a third print where it doesn't even have the UPC on the front. That one looks kind of cool, where it's like the full artwork.
Right on. Yeah. Big Remo, what up? He says, "What up, fellas?" Up? Jersey to Bay says she has a great signature.
Oh, she really does.
Funhouse is plugging us. Appreciate you, brother. Big Remo, I was thinking about you today. I actually went to Hockey Monkey and I bought a new stick. I'm looking for new skates. Gonna play Adult League. And I know that is your brother or your cousin that plays ice hockey as well? I've watched your content. Good player. He's got speed too. So good luck with that. And I just wanted to let you know that. GLS Comics, Jesse says there must be a foil of this as well. Probably.
I know they reprinted, like Fan Expo did a different cover, and then they had a foil version. But I don't remember ever seeing a foil of this exact cover. I mean, DC will probably just reprint it anyways, right?
He said her wait a week or so.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, 2024 just started, so it's still early.
Yeah. No, great point. Oh yeah. All right. Number 6. Ooh, I'm gonna let Aaron take this one. Go ahead, Aaron.
Oh man, it's one of my favorite books. Spider-Man 1 Platinum. Uh, classic, um, iconic McFarlane cover. This was given out to retailers as a thank you for selling all the different versions um, at their stores and everything. I believe it's estimated there are about 10,000 copies out there. And then what really got me paying attention to this book again is all the different versions that Mc, that Brian's been showing on Beyond Wednesdays during the market reports, where it's like the complete, like with the envelope and the letter, with the thank you note in it and everything. Like you don't see the envelope very often.
So let me touch on that. Why Aaron was saying. So basically, yeah, the envelope. He's got a good point. I was actually on eBay because anything that we put up here, even though we use cover price along with GPA, I use mainly cover price. Aaron uses both. I always go to eBay and like double check, confirm. And I was looking at this, like I know about this book. I just couldn't believe the how much it was going for. So I did a little bit of research and I found out that that envelope that he's talking about, it's not everybody doesn't post that. Everybody doesn't sell that together. And
Yeah.
and I saw a few that had it together but the envelope that you're talking about, it was trashed. It's totally trashed.
Oh yeah.
There was a couple nice ones too, but Todd McFarlane begins including images of Felix the cat in the interior art of many issues after meeting someone suffering from post-traumatic stress syndrome, PTSD, who carried around a Felix the cat doll. That's in the later issues, I believe. The man told Todd Father that he was not a fan of superhero books. Therefore, he didn't purchase Spider-Man comics. McFarlane asked if he would start reading them if Felix the cat was drawn into them, and the man said yes. So he started adding them on the later issues. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Good story.
Have you seen the back cover of this?
Yeah,
Of this,
yes,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That makes it for this cover. I mean,
I
it's just
actually have it. You want to check it out? Let's go ahead. I actually pulled it up.
oh
So
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, and I sold my copy, and I kind of want it back now.
All right, so let's see here. Where did I see? I think this guy had the. Okay, let's go ahead and share this here. So here's the back cover, guys, and pretty cool, pretty cool. I'll blow it up for you guys. Here is the letter right here.
Nice.
It says, "Dear retailer, enclosed you will find your copy of the limited platinum printing of Spider-Man #1. Our quote, thank you, end quote, for making that book the most successful comic in history. We hope you find a special place for it in your store or some special use for it." And it goes on. The second paragraph says, "If you don't have any desire to display it for your customers and you're looking for an appropriate use for your copy, perhaps you could consider auctioning it off for charity. Not only would this be a nice way of thanking your community, obviously the comic community, but also you could garner a boatload of free publicity from local press for such an event. Whatever you end up doing with your platinum printing, we hope it benefits you as much as your effort on Spider-Man #1 benefited us. Thanks again. Sincerely, Lou Bank, Director of Sales and Direct Market." And that's from Marvel Entertainment Group. This is, I believe, he didn't put a date on there, but I believe this is 1990 or 91 or something like that. Very cool. Very cool. I love the back cover. Tough back cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice
All
pick.
black. Yeah.
All right. All right. All right. So let's get back into this. Number 5. All new Wolverine #2. This is the 1 in 25 retailer incentive variant by David Lopez. Pretty awesome. Classic Dave Lopez cover art of Laura Kinney as X-23, just causing mayhem, tearing shit up. First appearance of Gabby, aka the Honey Badger, sister of Laura Kinney, X-23. You guys know, we all know the story. If you don't, Gabby actually has one claw. That's kind of how you can tell the difference between her and Laura. But you like this one, Aaron?
I do like this book a lot. I mean, since it's like that 1 in 25, would you compare it to like almost like on the level? Like, do you think it has the potential to get to the level of like, the Greg Land Edge of Spider-Verse 2, or maybe even like the Miles Jurjovic like prices at some point in time?
I think it has the ability depending on the character, right?
Right.
Because there's a lot less of this book in a regular cover or just the title than there is of Edge of Spider-Verse 2, right?
Okay.
Even though the land is rare or whatever, but this one is super tough as well. Someone in the comments just mentioned, but I think the cover and the fact that it's the scarcity speaks for itself. So the other, well, besides the declining factor of the market, I think the character, which is Honey Badger, needs to do something either a little bit more in the comics and or silver screen. What do you think?
Yeah. And at the very least, like, appearance in like some sort of animation.
Yeah, I
As a
wouldn't mind that. I'd be down.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
animation's
mean,
really hot right now.
yeah, just to test out the character, to see how audiences like react to Honey Badger. But
Yeah,
I mean,
this
I
book.
guess they're trying to build up on lore too at this point, anyways.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
think anything Laura Kinney when it comes to key issue or you know uh, cover
Yeah.
art,
Yeah.
scarcity is it's good spec. I think somebody in the live chat, probably Tony, was saying that Laura and Gabby's good spec, and we agree on that. We both like this. We're both specking on those characters.
Yeah.
Very cool. This book is way down. This book used to be a monster, but now it's attainable. So I don't know.
I've been looking for a copy. I'm keeping my eye out for one. I
Keep
mean,
your eye on.
I've seen it raw a couple times, like once at a convention and probably like once at a shop near me.
Right.
So they're obtainable, I would say.
So what was the brick and mortar selling it for?
I don't,
Probably a little bit more than
probably
online.
like $400, I would guess.
Wow, that's okay. That makes sense.
Like 400 raw, and then you're talking about like probably like in that time period we're supposed to forget. Maybe a little bit beforehand, like maybe
Yeah, I mean, I would spend between 300 and 400 for this book raw and high grade.
I mean, and then honestly, like it could have been closer to that 4 or 5 range. Like it, I was just kind of guessing.
Yeah, well, when we covered it like maybe a couple months ago. Like our second show, it was down. It was like selling for just around 500, and it was down, I think, like almost 40%.
Okay,
yeah.
So that would have been probably about right. Like if it was selling for around 1,000.
Right.
Yeah.
And not a lot on the census. Am I correct about that?
That sounds right. I can check though. Have you ran into this book very often?
Never in the wild, just online. And typically a lot of the shops, except Comics, Tunes, and Toys, shout out to the Big To Do, Mike, best shop in all of OC and LA. He usually has great deals on his wall books, but usually when I go to shops and the wall books are usually like way more expensive. But usually when they're expensive, it ends up being like a bin or BO, like you end up negotiating,
Yeah.
But what's going on in the census here?
There are 333 graded total. That's blue labels and gold labels.
How many 9.8?
201.
Yeah, that says not a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this book. Definitely, it's on my watch list on the secondary market.
What's up, Bird? He's back.
He's back.
Hit me up to play Call of Duty, dude.
I have Call of Duty. You have PS5?
Yeah,
I have PS5.
Are you playing the new one?
No, I haven't got the new one. I haven't got any new games. I just signed up for my account under Spec Media, but
nice. We'll add each other.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I suck at games right now. I'm just trying to learn the coordination. It's tough.
Yeah.
Need
It gets
to,
harder as you get older too.
yeah, totally.
Because your hand-eye coordination gets slower.
Yeah, especially when especially when you're like me, when you have gray hair and you're in 47. So, and I'm nearsighted, but so which is a good thing. And I think I need glasses. So that's another story. Okay, now I sound like a cranky old man. All right, let's move on. Number 4. Ooh, this is the one I wanted to add this one, and Aaron and I both agree. Giant Size X-Men 1. So we have Giant Size X-Men 1, 1975. You have your first new X-Men team appearance, plus you have the first appearance of Storm, first appearance of Nightcrawler, first Colossus, first Thunderbolt, and third Wolverine.
Is it third or is it fourth?
I think it's third overall, but it's
okay.
So 180's first. Is this one between 180 and 181, or is this between 181 and 182? I can't remember, but according to I think it was, I got this from Cover Price. They have it as, what does he have it as? He has it as third Wolverine. So it doesn't say like third full. Or
94 is like what, fourth, right?
Yeah, 94 is the fourth.
Okay.
But I think this is the second full, right? And then 94 would be the third full. But overall, it would be like, you know what I mean?
It's weird how it's weird. There's weird Wolverine math, right?
That 180,
you almost need you almost need to have taken calculus to understand, like,
right. All
the
right.
justifications of the book.
We like this book to rebound for multiple reasons. I mean, Ben touched on this book a couple weeks ago. We spoke about it. There are a lot of copies of this book. There's a lot of graded copies. There's no scarcity about this book. Maybe in high grade, because I mean, 9/8 at one point were like, what, 25, 30K. Now they're going for like 16.8. They're like down almost 50%. But the reason why we like this book is that, you know, this is an iconic book, cover, characters, and these characters are likely coming to the MCU, and they are taking their sweet ass time with them. So I am really hoping that, because I like the Fox stuff, even though the production isn't so great and it's kind of like spotty all over, I still like it. I think that MCU, once they get their hands on it, it's in full production, it's released, this book will appreciate. You have your first magic as a child, and then introduction of Crocus, the living island.
Can I notate that though?
Yeah,
she's not named Ilyana Rasputin in the comic though, right?
Yeah, she's not named, but she's
like
there.
referred to as Colossus' sister, right, or something like that. But she's not named. But I mean, like, you later find out who it is,
right? And when she becomes magic, that's the book, right?
Right.
So, introduction of Crocus, the living island. First use of the sound effect Schnick, the Wolverine claws, which is iconic as well.
Oh yeah.
Aaron will go ahead and double check that. There we go. It says 2023 Stefan Kaplich, I can't say his last name, to reprise the role of Colossus in Deadpool 3. 2023 Hugh Jackman's Wolverine confirmed for Deadpool 3. This book is way down. I can never even think about a 9.8, so I don't even mess around. I'm looking for this book in like between an 8.5 and a 9.4. But the ideal grade for me is a 9.0, with a little meat on the bone. Maybe I could CPR it, but
man, talking about man with pockets.
I'm looking for a 9.0. I think the 9.0s they're down almost like 55-60%. I've seen prices I saw a price today go for 28 and change, and then there's around $3,000. So yeah, I'm buying a new car right now, and then anything that's left over, I'm gonna save it for this book. That's just like my all-time grail book. So but I wanted to share that with you. Go ahead, Aaron.
You know to be careful with the pressing of this book, right? Because of the
it's square bound, and I'm pretty phenomenal with square bound. So
it's the glue that's like on the interior of the book or whatever.
Yeah, it's always on all the square bounds. This one has a little bit more than most.
Yeah.
And usually the spine, it's kind of like I think it's like Uncanny X-Men 131. Is it 131 or 129? Where the part of the Dark Phoenix saga, but it's also square bound, and it's notorious for spine crush and spine twist. And if it's crushed, you can't fix it, but if it's twisted, you can reset the spine. I'm very good. I will say I'm confident in resetting square bound spines without splitting the spine. It's actually really fun for me to do. I don't really share that with a lot of people, but just to let you know. But yeah,
Nice.
Aaron's right. Aaron's right. And usually when you press these books and you're resetting that spine to something square all the way across from a slightly twist, you want to put it in the press for about 5 minutes on a lower temperature, like between 115 and 125, just to warm up the glue. That way it makes it resettable. You take a straight edge roller along with your tack iron. Shout out to Red Hood Comics, Joe, great presser. Make sure you guys, if you guys want press books, he is phenomenal at it. He hates tack irons, but I love tack irons, even though they're annoying as shit. But I see what he's saying. But yeah, tack iron, ball bearing, straight edge, heat up that glue, and then you can massage it. Just you got to go real slow and real careful so you don't split that spine. It's very important, especially on this book's 1975. It's already kind of like deteriorating. What's up?
Oh, Jersey of the Bay with there's a 1 in 100 art germ of Magic, the fall of the House of X #1.
Okay.
Look, have you seen that cover? It's
No.
hot. It's good. It's a good cover.
Yeah, I was actually looking at tomorrow's book. There's actually some good books coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty excited but I'm gonna stop by the shop. I can never find incentives at shops. I always have to like go online,
Yeah.
And I'm not really. I'm not playing the FOC or pre-order game right now because
Oh,
of
yeah. If I'm playing the FOC game, like I'm going through someone that has a Diamond account and ordering like 100 copies of whatever
like
book.
Lucas or something.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, something like that. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm not playing the game like that anymore. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I read most of my books, but I'm a sucker for incentives, like Aaron and like pretty much everybody in the. So you end up ordering way more, and I just cannot list a book for like cover price or just what I mean, and go through all that work just to have an incentive. It's just not worth it to me, just to get your recoup some of the money, unless the
yeah.
book pops. And if the book pops, now you want to sell it. I'd like to have it in my collection. I go back to work Wednesday. Like I said, it's a hybrid, 2 days in the office, 3 days remote. So kind of watching my money, but yeah, good points, Aaron. Anything else about this book before we move on?
No, I'm good.
All right, let's go. Number 3. All right, we have Contest of Champions #1. This is the 1 in 25 retailer incentive variant by is it Francis Yu? Francis Yu? I know Yu's the last name, but first cover appearance of White Fox. You guys know White Fox Tiger Division. Also New Agents of Atlas, shapeshifter from Korea. First appearance of Guillotine, a French woman who wields a magical sword. Now, just to be aware, this is by far the best cover. This is the most sought after cover. She's also on the Ron Lim connecting cover as well. And yeah, so what do you think about this one, Aaron?
I like any of the Asian player or Asian character plays right now. I think it's smart. We have Shang-Chi #2. That's like at least in discussions of production and everything. So I'm excited to see if they like keep on expanding on that part of the universe. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't, right?
Right. Yeah, no, I mean it's a huge market, right? And I know, I mean the MCU, Marvel, collectively in a whole, they want to tap into that market as much as they can outside of manga and anime, right?
Right.
So from a US
Or
comic
like
standpoint,
find some sort of common ground, right?
right,
Like that you can cross over at some point. That, yeah, I think they're headed in that direction, anyways. But yeah, that they're just like kind of slow burning it.
I think it's a good step forward that Steven Yeun is playing Sentry. If that ends up being the case, I don't know if I think it's all but confirmed.
I thought Hollywood Reporter announced something today.
Okay, do you got any new news?
Let me look it up real quick.
But yeah, what I was saying was I think that's a good step forward, especially tapping into the Asian and Southeastern Asian market. We've been hearing about Wave for a long time. We've been hearing about let's see here. Well, Shang-Chi's already here. I'm thinking about like all the team members. Go ahead.
So from Comic Book on Instagram, Steven Yeun officially drops out of the MCU's Thunderbolts movie.
Oh. Wait, what is it? What is the site though? What's the site?
It was on the Instagram. It's like, okay, here it is. On Tuesday night, The Hollywood Reporter confirmed that Steven Yeun has dropped out of the forthcoming Marvel Cinematic Universe film, which is expected to begin production sometime this year ahead of a July 2025 release. The report cites the delay of production start date as the reason of Yeun's exit.
What is it? Wait, okay, so he's saying that it's a conflicting production date, start date?
Probably conflicting schedule from like, so he probably had something already planned out after
because of the writer strike and it got pushed, and then
or because of after,
and then the
like
actor
whatever they announced as their release date,
I didn't know that. Wow, thank you for that, Aaron. Yeah, I mean, I know that the whole writers, not the writer's strike, I'm sorry, the whole like conflicting deal is kind of like, I don't know, but I've heard from multiple people it's kind of like a default excuse of not wanting to do something anymore, like you know what I mean, like a press release.
Oh yeah.
Who knows what the real reason is? We'll just take it for its word. But yeah, I mean, maybe he comes back as Taiguchi, Taiguchi, that would be incredible. Cool. That would be incredible. I love that character, and I wonder what's going to happen with Sentry now. Is Sentry out totally? Are they going to recast? I heard some news today about Kang the Conqueror. They're looking at the guy from Fear of the Walking Dead, not Walking Dead, but Fear of the Walking Dead, the African American gentleman, very good actor that is playing. They're thinking about recasting him as Kang the Conqueror. Ferdy saying that, hey, thank you, Igor. Appreciate that, brother. Welcome. Ferdy saying, oh yeah, that would be a great one, right, Ferdy? We love us some Amadeus Cho. That'd be incredible. But yeah, I mean, wow, that's interesting. A lot of things have changed. Like Brian was saying, a lot of things have changed since the writers and the actors strike collectively. And now this is a shocker to me. So, oh well. But all right, let's move on. Number 2. Okay, we have Ultimate Comics, the all-new Spider-Man #1. This is the newsstand edition. First solo title, second appearance of Miles Morales, first appearance of the Ultimate Prowler from Earth 1610, Ultimate Universe, first appearance of Jefferson and Rio Morales, which are Miles' parents in the Ultimate Universe. But remember, they get trapped in the 616 in the Miles Morales Spider-Man Volume 4. That from the 2019 series. I've read every single book from that series. And I highly suggest it. But long story short, this book is down. This is like a mid-grade copy. I think the guy had it at like VF- or something. It sold for like $45 and it was on auction. This book was selling raw last year in 2023, not 2022, 2023. This book sold multiple times in 2023 for over $200. And there was a sale for $45 recently over the last 3 weeks. And there was also a $68 sale in the middle of the year. Very hard to find, very tough book. I found this book twice and I was on like a drastic search for newsstands. You guys know I love modern newsstands. This is one of the grails on the list. I've had this book once, seen it twice. But what do you think about this book, Aaron?
I didn't know there was a newsstand edition of this book, but that's awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a classic book, and then a must-have for every Miles collector out there.
totally,
Uh,
totally.
but now I'm gonna be looking closer for those newsstands.
Yeah, yeah, and it's funny. I've been seeking newsstands online in the wild for so long that modern newsstands, I mean,
Um,
especially the keys, that I kind of have I already know like it's already burnt in my brain what the direct edition versus the newsstand edition is,
but
right?
it's always interesting digging in boxes because I always
Because you have
lift
to
the
pull them
books.
up. Yeah,
You have to pull them up every single time, right? But I
right,
mean, like, but you can tell like when someone's looking for certain things like that, right? Like
right.
whether it's a barcode variant or newsstand editions, like you can tell those collectors because they pull out the books all the way, or or even the collector that's meticulous about it, looking for like super high grades all the time
Yeah,
and all that.
100.
So yeah,
It's
yeah,
important. Also, I'm glad Aaron brought that up. Good point, Aaron, about this high grades. It's important to have these modern newsstands in high grade. Um, something like this, I wouldn't mind having it in a 6.0 and like working on it and seeing if I can like at least get a 9.2 and then CGC puts like a newsstand edition on it. That'd be incredible.
mhm,
But honestly, like it's with modern newsstands, you gotta have that high grade. I know they're rare, but you
right.
gotta be in that,
I
9.6 and
I
above.
think it's still good to pick up if the price is attractive enough.
Yeah, of
No
course, of
matter no
course.
matter what grade it is, but then at the same time, like, you definitely wanna like, if you're on a tight budget, I would definitely seek out the higher grade ones than just because you found, like, 2 or 3 newsstand ones or whatever, and if they're in, like, piss poor condition, like, does that really, benefit you in the long run? Probably not. But if,
Right.
like, you find 3 copies of this in the wild, and then one's high grade and you're only gonna spend so much, I would just buy the high grade one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Just to let you guys know, there's a newsstand for number one. I think it's 1 through 5, and then there's a break between I think it's 6 through 12. So I have to look at my notes, but just be aware. I don't want you guys out there going, I want to get every book in a newsstand in this volume, and then all of a sudden you end up like spitting dirt. But all right, let's move on. All right, the number one book for the final show of 2023, but actually the first show of 2024 by The Dip, brought to you by SSPEC Media YouTube channel in cooperation with the House of Stein and Beyond Wednesday's YouTube channel. Let's get into it. Number one book that we are keeping our eye on. This is Miles Morales Spider-Man. This is issue number 6, cover A, your first appearance of Starling Vulture, aka Tiana Toombs, in full first cover appearance, and specifically in a CGC 9.8 because this book has dropped so much that the 9.8s are so affordable. I think they're $100 and below now. So, and this book at one point was around $200 and just hovering around 150 to 175. But now it's, you could probably, if you hit your watch list, you probably get this book for like 50, $60. I'm willing to bet. If you go do a Ben or BO, you're probably going to be paying over 100. But what do you think about this character, Aaron?
Oh, this specific character? I mean,
Yeah.
I like the character spec on this, especially with like how popular Miles is growing and everything. So
Yeah, yeah, and just to let you guys know, Comic-Con has this volume 4 of this fourth series of 2019 series of Miles Morales Spider-Man. It has issue not number 1, but number 2, all the way through number 9 at an average of around 32K orders. So just say about 35 to 37K. Number 10, it goes up a little bit because you have your ultimatum. A lot of us knew on FOC that character was coming. So that one, Comic-Con has like 37K on that one. So you figure about 40, 42K on those. But this is the book you want for this character, in my opinion. Now, number 5 does have a pretty strong cameo of this character, and that one is not to be slept on. Okay. Number 5 is dope. It's got a dope cover and yeah, strong cameo. But I really like this 9.8, and I think it will rebound, like Aaron says, with Miles, the popularity of Miles from the gaming industry or circle through the silver screen. So, yeah. All right, that's it, and let's do pickups. And you got pickups, Aaron?
Oh, I did just get this in. I bought a baseball card.
Is that Alec Thomas or Kyle Tucker?
Kyle Tucker, 2019 Sapphire PSA 10.
Ooh, nice,
Rookie
nice.
card. Yeah, so I bought his Sapphire. I love that cracked ice pattern.
Did you grade that yourself?
No, so I bought this on eBay just as a single, off season. I saw an attractive price and I was like, kind of like, I'm gonna go for it.
Let me grab mine.
I did open a box of Topps Chrome Sapphire 2022. I hit a CJ Abrams rookie card. No Julio.
Is that Abrams actual base Sapphire rookie?
Yeah. So this is the Topps Chrome.
I like Abrams.
Yeah. So I hit 3 colors, but they're all weird ones. Okay. I hit a 3-player card for the Braves. Duvall, Riley, and Albies. Orange.
Wow, that's tight.
Out of 25.
Was that number to 25?
Yeah, so it's numbers to 25.
Yeah.
Kelnick's
on with Atlanta as well. Yeah.
Steven Piscotty.
Okay. Is that yellow. A gold number to 50?
Yep, number to 50. And then Brandon Lowe, number to 50 as well. So that was just from one box.
When did you crack that box? Is it on IG or something?
No, I just cracked it on Christmas Day.
Oh, yeah.
I get just at home. Sometimes. Like just like like I like to open boxes off camera every so often. Like I know it's probably bad practice, but like I like to mix it up. Like I don't like to have like the same mojo, like where it's like kind of like, okay, if I film every single box opening, I'm gonna hit something gold, magic, or whatever. I mean, I've hit some pretty big stuff off camera as well. I do have a couple comic pickups that I can show, but let me go grab them.
Cool. Let's do it.
You show off
yeah, I'll show mine as you're doing that. All right. So let's go ahead and start with the comic stuff, and then I'll go get into the rest. So I got this, won this at auction. This is a print of, I really like this character. General, what's his name? General Crevis, or I forgot his name, but Crevis or something like that. General something like that. And the reason why I got this is because it's 55. It's numbered 55 of General Grievous, I believe. 55 of 100, and I got it for $7, so you just couldn't beat that. Pulled this off. Shout out to Ben Stein and Beyond Wednesdays as well, but mainly the Almost 10. This book was on the Almost 10. This was I collect classic or homage of Street Fighter covers along with Street Fighter. But this is called Virtual Fighter. This is a Marvel Comics, and this was like a $2 book. Won these two at auction, and the same week that these were actually on multiple lists, I got these very cheap, way lower than what was reported being sold. High grade copies. I got a newsstand, and I got a a direct. Buddy of mine, Armin. I pressed a bunch of his books last year, and I'm dropping them periodically to CGC, because the market's down. And I pressed one of these of his. He has, and I loved it so much. I was like, man, I got to get one. And when I saw one direct and one newsstand was going, and they were so cheap, and it was like the last like 20 minutes, I grabbed both. Yeah. So this is a McFarlane cover I grabbed. This was super cheap as well. I don't know if I showed you guys this, but got this in a this is a 6.0. It looks like more like a 6.5, but this is a cool cover. It's not a key or anything. It's just kind of a classic cover art. Got this super cheap. This is a graded by my comic shop at a 8.5, and after I looked at it, it's more like a right now about a 9.0, 9.2. This is your first full. Oh well, I don't know who made that up. First full cover, but I guess that's a term now we use in the comic market. But first full cover of Venom, and because he's on another cover, but just his face. But I really like this cover, and I never really understood why everybody liked this book, besides the fact that McFarlane was there doing the book and doing the cover. And when I got it in my hands, I was like, "Holy crap!" Now I see why people like this book. This book is amazing. Like the art on this is amazing. It's really good color tone. He killed it on this cover, so I think this was a good one. I grabbed this one from Comics, Tunes, and Toys from the Big To Do shop. Grabbed this. This was $10. Foil of 181. The reason why I got it though is I've never owned 181 or the facsimile, and I've never read it, so I wanted to read it. So I went ahead and read it. I need to change the bag. Obviously, they use those one-time sealed bags. I grabbed this from the same store, Comics, Tunes, and Toys. Usagi Yojimbo #7. This is from the first solo series, first appearance of this character, this new character right here. These are all Trick or Treat comics. Shout out to Dave's collection. He makes a good point. He went ahead and made a IG reel of this book right here, and he said, and it was so funny and it was so true. And he said, "You're going to tell me, I'm going to show you right now, that this free Trick or Treat book of Spidey and his amazing friends has this beautiful, well-made, well-created, thick cardstock cover. Retailers are getting this book for like 15 cents and then giving them away. Yet we're paying $4.99, $5.99, all the way up to $9.99 for freaking dog shit cover. I mean, come on." Dave's collection. Make sure you guys are following him on IG. He made a great point. It was hilarious. I was laughing my ass off on that one. And let's see here. Oops, sorry. I got the shout out to Red Hood. I got the, what is that? The penis nose book. The I didn't get the version. I just have the trade, obviously. Love this cover. This is your Perel.
Are you sure it's a version? No, I'm just joking.
This is the Gerald Perel incentive. I believe it's a 1 in 25. Could be a 1 in 10. I can't remember. I remember we pre-ordered this book when I was in Fax. But yeah, this is I like this. That's gold version of Silver Surfer Black. So pretty cool. Silver Surfer Black 1. Grab this one. I really like the blank, but I mainly got it so I could read it. Never read it before. Grab this one from Graham Crackers. It was super cheap. I was so excited because it was such high grade. This is your first full appearance of Punisher in the War Machine armor, and it's on the cover. This is a second print, very hard to find. But then I opened it up because I do this on all modern books, and I highly recommend you guys do this as well, especially before grading or pressing. And my heart dropped. So I was so excited for how much I got this book for so cheap. But here's a problem. This is a problem right there. That's a problem, because 4 out of 5 times CGC will catch that and you will get a green label. The sticker is removed, and that is, if you guys have ever seen me press books or ever seen my reels or any of the content me pressing books on moderns, I always talk about make sure you're using the paper or cardstock to protect the sticker right here, because if you press it without it, the square will go through all the way through the book. Sometimes CGC doesn't catch it, but if they do, it will hit your grade. If it's missing, you get a green label, and it's not cool. And I think I think,
are they doing green labels on that now?
They've been doing it for a long time. They just have to catch it.
Because I remember seeing notations on it on like blue labels and stuff like that. But I don't think I've ever seen a green label.
Yeah, I've seen multiple green labels with that. Oh, and then but they have to catch it.
Oh, yeah, you mean they actually have to look inside the book?
Yeah, they actually have to look inside the book, and there's much scrutiny as CGC is getting right now. I have a feeling that the things are going to be tightening up over there, because that's a multi-billion-dollar business, and with Jay-Z as this, what is he, the silent investor? His LLC is a silent investor. I don't think he wants
to. The company that
Blackstone or something like that.
Yeah, Blackstone, that real estate company, owns CGC now.
I want to talk about this card real quick. I pulled this in my latest video before I move on to Aaron's. I found something really interesting about this card. So in the new Bowman draft hobby, I highly recommend, if you like baseball cards, especially from an investment point of view, then I highly recommend watching that video. If you don't care or whatever, just pass it on. But I pulled this, the first time I've ever pulled a variation out of a Bowman, okay? An actual like chrome variation refractor, like an actual SSP, right? And I didn't realize how rare this card is. So this is the player, this is the #1 chase player you want in the new Bowman draft. Besides the Tom Brady card, also Max Clark, Chase Davis, or Paul Cienkies, multiple player, a lot of good talent in this series, but this is the player right here. Okay, 22 years old, he's in AAA, and at every level he's batting over 300, and his OPS is on base percentage plus slugging percentage is up through the roof. It's like 1100, 1200 plus he steals bases. That's his actual like card right there, okay, with the bat. Well, in my video, I actually pulled the variation. Now, I looked at the prices on the variation, and I was thinking it was going to be like $500-$600, because his Bowman Chrome Auto is about a $300 card. Depending on the parallel, it gets way more expensive, up to like $3,500. Let me see where that sucker is. I can't find it here, but I found out this variation is 1 in 387 packs. And just to let you know the math on that, in the box, there's 12 packs per box, 8 packs per case, or 8 boxes per case, 12 packs per box. 1 in 387 packs is basically 1 in 4 cases. And that's not him. That's just the variation in general. And this card is going for $125 to $30. And for some reason, I must have said it somewhere. But anyways, check out my video. It's on there. I crack in the first pack, and it's a good buy. I think the reason why it's down, though, the variation, is it doesn't have a first on there. And typically the variations that I'm used to is when it doesn't have the first, when their first is in there, it's usually like a mojo and it's autoed. This one is not a mojo. It's just the one I pulled it's just a refractor, and it's super rare. And I honestly think there's going to be a market correction on that. So other than that, though, that's my pickups. Christmas all through December and after Thanksgiving. Let's go ahead and see what Aaron's got for us.
Okay, so just a couple books. So I bought the Scotty Young X-Men 141 facsimile edition, where he does like the baby version. I bought 2 of these. And then I couldn't stay away from the Something Is Killing the Children book. I thought it was too cool. It's the Blood and Ink, but it's the Erica Slaughter.
Oh wow.
Foil edition of this. So I didn't get the first time this variant came out, so I was like, why not buy the Blood and Ink foil version? So it's pretty cool they used the clear back and borders for this. So
can you show that one more time? Sorry, I was going through the Oh wow, that's sick. What issue number is that?
So it's issue 1, but it's the
is it the new one that just came out last week?
No, it's the Blood and Ink version. So it's just like a black and it's just like a black and white version of the interiors. So they're just reprinting it again.
So like how could somebody obtain that?
This was the store exclusive.
Okay, so it's sold out.
Yeah. So I think it was like limited to, they said 400. So we'll see how true that is. Okay. But I like the artist. What's her name? Zoe.
Oh yeah. It's like an Italian last name.
Yeah, it starts with an L. I don't know how to pronounce her last name.
She's the one that did that exclusive with the machetes. like this in the blood?
Yes.
Yeah, she's great. She's great.
Yeah. So she does a lot of good covers and stuff like that.
Creed, I agree with you. I can't. Yeah, me too. I can't. I hate how the SP in this particular case is SSP, 1 in 4 cases. Don't have the first Bowman on them. Oh wow, which is that? Volpe?
Yep.
When did you pull that? You didn't tell me that. Is that number to 150?
Yeah. Remember how I bought that Topps Chrome update case?
Yeah.
This came out of like the second box.
Oh my gosh, you deserve it, man. Good guy.
And then this was the other auto that came out of it.
Ooh, Gabriel Marino. He's a dude. He's a baller.
Yeah. So this is a purple speckle out of 299. So those are my gray piles.
Nice. What up, Bruce? Subbed up to Kingdom of Nerds. Bruce and Brian Barber. Tacos and Comics, Red Comics, he's over there, so make sure you do that. He says Happy New Year's. What is that? Jokic? What's up?
Jokic, National Treasures. This is out of 1718. Okay. National Treasures.
Wow.
Jumbo relic. I was in the Pac-Man break, and then I ended up with the Nuggets for a good price. And then
there's a lot of good. I mean, besides Jokic, there's Jamal Murray, and then what's his name? The other dude. I don't know. I just drafted a fantasy basketball team, so I have all these.
I like Christian Braun.
Braun's a rookie, but there's one more guy. Forgot his name, but anyways, yeah.
I mean, that team's like,
dude, Jokic is, dude, he's unstoppable. Bro.
Is it Michael Porter Jr.?
Michael Porter Jr. Thank you. Yeah, MPJ. There you go. Creed, what up, man? I'm glad you made it. Bruce. Glad everybody made it. Fluffy T Cat, thank you for all you guys. Thank you guys. Happy New Year to you guys. I'm going to have a fantasy football review special. We're going to review my best ball, how I did in the best ball teams. I drafted 50 Yahoo best ball leagues, are all money, all buy-in money prize. And then I played 6 season-long leagues. I'm going to let you know, guys, how I did. I played with Patrick M., Brad Selden, James and Ghost Zapper. James is from Ren and Threes. Brian McClay, Topher. We all play in multiple leagues together. It's a great time. I'm going to review that, see how I did. And then Aaron and I, we're going to really try to make this more consistent. It's mainly my fault. My dad was sick for a long time, but he's doing a lot better. I do work now, but I only have to be in the office 2 days a week, so I should be okay to do a pretty consistent either Monday or Tuesday show. And also, we're in the talks right now, just to let you guys know, with Dino from Tales from the Flip Side. We're thinking about doing a reunion show, kind of like pretty soon. I don't know if it's going to be next week or whatever. We just have to get all the heads together and stuff. So make sure you guys are tuned up to Tales from the Flip Side. Make sure you guys are subbed up, tuned in to also notifications on. Double click that notification bell to Nearing Nirvana. Aaron has a show every Thursday. What do you guys do every Thursday with our boy Ben Stein Longshort?
We have Long Story Short.
You have Long Story Short. They talk about ghost books.
I think we're doing episode, I think it's 66.
Wow, 66 episodes. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brian McClay. He's like our big brother, our younger big brother. I always call him my younger big brother, but he's got Beyond Wednesdays. He's got Wednesday show. You guys usually see me and Aaron on that, and you see Aaron also as well on the Saturday show, Modern Comic Mayhem, and of course the House of Stein YouTube channel, home of the original Hot 10 show, which we have every Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific, where you can always find Ben Stein's list of Buy the Dip as well, which we review here. We're going to try to do each week. So without further ado, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. And Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
Happy New Year.